Hi, I'm Dave Vickers and welcome to the Photo Show. We're going to look at something slightly different today. Recently, Facebook have launched Facebook 360, which is where you can upload photos taken from a 360 camera and have them be able to be scrolled around within a desktop or moved. When you move your smartphone, you can actually look around within the image itself. They look great, but the problem is at the moment is it's only actually supported by a couple of 360 degree camera makes. But what I'm going to do today is show you how you can turn any panorama or 360 image into a Facebook 360 image. There's a few things we need to adjust to allow it to work, but first off we're going to start off by adjusting the actual image itself. So I've got a panorama here that I took recently at a centre park, so we've got the swimming pool and the lake in front, but one of the things that it needs to be for these 360s to work is a certain aspect ratio. It has to be an aspect ratio of 2:1. So the first thing I'm going to do here is open up image at the top here and come down to image size. And this is going to give us the size of this image here. And you can see that it's 6,000 pixels by 2,734 pixels wide. So what we need to do is to change this into an aspect ratio that is 2:1. Now, with this, we're not far off of that being 3,000 there. So let's change we'll keep the 6,000 as it is and change the bottom here to 3,000, the height. Now I've unticked constrained proportions, because if I've got constrained proportions, if I change one, the other will change to keep the same proportions of the image. But we want to change that for this, just so that we're getting that 2:1 ratio. So I'm going to change this 2,734 to 3,000 pixels. And click OK. And you can see there that what it did is it actually stretched the image higher in the vertical. It's probably squashed it slightly, but with this image, because we were close to the 2:1 ratio, it doesn't matter that much. So there we go. That's our image sized to the ratio that Facebook will want that to be sized. So let's save that out. So we're going to go Shift Control S and save that as, let's do 360 save. Right, so the next thing, now we've created that image, we've created it in the size ratio it is, but we have a problem. This wasn't shot on a 360 degree camera, and Facebook will only recognize it as a 360 image if it was shot on a 360 camera. So what do? What we need to do is change the metadata on the actual image itself. Now I'll show you, there's two methods. There's one method that I saw online, which is using a web-based metadata editor, but I'll show you a simpler way as well. So first off, let's come out of that. We're going to open up Google and we're going to search for the EXIF, the EXIFer. There we go, and open it up. And there we go. On this website, what this allows you to do is to upload your photo and change the data, the metadata that is imprinted within that photo. Every camera will write metadata to an image, telling certain information about that image and how it was taken. So if we click Upload here, and we find that image, we navigate to where we left the image, and there it is, Center Park 360. Click Open. And now it's uploading that site to EXIFer, and you've got two choices: Remove File or EXIF Me. If we click EXIF Me, we now have data on some basic general data on that image, when it was created and what camera it was taken on. You can see this was taken on an old Fujifilm Fine Pix. It does fine for the image, does fine for away on holiday, but this isn't a camera that allows 360 images. Facebook won't recognize that camera as being a 360 image. So what we simply need to do is to change the make and model to a type of camera that is. So let's pick up Ricoh. So we go Ricoh there, and Ricoh make a model which is called the Theta S. There we go, it's come up there. So now we've changed the make of the camera to Ricoh and the model to the Ricoh Theta S. That's all we need to do. And we go EXIF in. There it says at the top, the EXIF data, your file blah, 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 has been successfully advanced. So close the editor. And now you can see we've got another option here which says download me. So we download that image. And there we go. If I go to a downloads folder, there we have the image there. And you can see there in the description where I've highlighted it, it says that the camera maker is a Ricoh and the model is the Theta S. So that's been successful, and we've changed the data. So that would now upload to Facebook as a 360 image. But there is a simpler way of doing this. Let's go back to our original image. And you can see here we've got the original image that we took there, and the EXIF data says the camera maker there. And there's the 361 that we created, where all we did was we just changed the size. And you can see here that the camera make and the model still says Fuji. If I right click on that image and come down to where it says properties, and then go to details, here we have some of that EXIF detail again. You can see there that it's got the dimensions that we changed it to. The width 6,000 pixels, the height 3,000 pixels, the resolution of the image, the bit depth. And we come down to here and we have camera maker, camera model. And these can be edited. So if we change that to Ricoh, and we change this part to Ricoh Theta S, click apply, click OK, you can see now there's the original image and it says Fuji and fine pics there. Click on the one we've just worked on and it's showing us that it's a Ricoh and Ricoh Theta S. So when we upload this to Facebook now, Facebook is going to believe that this image was shot on a 360 degree camera and therefore upload it as a 360 degree image. So let's pop over to Facebook. So now I'm on Facebook and I'm in the photo show page, and let's add a photo. So first off, let's upload the original panorama. Remember, on this one, the EXIF data tells us that it was shot on the Fuji film camera. So let's just put a message with this saying Facebook 360 tutorial test, and we click publish. And you see now we have the image up. We'll open it up and it's just the panorama as we posted it. It's just a plain panorama. We haven't got any of the ability to move around the image at all. So let's go back and let's upload the image that we changed the metadata onto. So it's this one here, the one that says 360, and we'll click open. And you can see now, as it's uploading, we had a little icon on there. Can you see the little icon there? It disappears when I put it. There's a little icon in that thumbnail that's telling us this is a 360 image. So if we say Facebook 360 image, click publish. And now, as you can see here, let's open it up. So now we've opened the image up, you can see now that we're able to scroll around the image. And I know this wasn't a true 360 image because otherwise we wouldn't have had the scene there, but if you had shot a true 360 panorama, you would be able to scroll all the way around and see behind you and up the top. So we've got the ability to move around this image as if it was shot on a 360 camera. So that is how you can turn any photo into a Facebook 360 image that you can post onto Facebook and have people scroll around. If you shot 360 panoramas on any camera, as long as you change the metadata to being a 360 camera, and as was shown there, changing it to the Ricoh Theta S works fine. If you don't change that, then you just upload it and it would just be a panorama. But if you change that metadata, either by using the EXIF website or by just simply changing the camera make and model in the properties of that JPEG, then as soon as you upload it to Facebook, it will work in the same way as if it had been shot onto a 360 camera. So I hope that helps. That's how to use any image to work as a Facebook 360 image. I'm Dave Vickers. This is The Photo Show. Until next time, see you then.